Mightyreacts, back with the reacts. On today's video, we are reacting to "This Idiot Tried to Crash His Own Plane" by the man Ray William. Bruh, this man must had a bad day that he trying to crash his own plane. But hey, enough with the talking, let's react!
So this guy is about to get fired. Now the guy's name is Auburn,
Oh,
and
shit.
Auburn is 42, living in Tennessee, and bro has a big problem. He's a flight engineer working for FedEx, and he's pretty sure FedEx is about to fire him. He had apparently lied to them about his credentials, and they just found out about it, and so he's like, oh shit, they're about to fire me. And to make it worse, he's also having money problems, and he really wants to take care of his kids financially, who now live with his ex-wife.
Damn,
and he
bro.
can't take care of his kids or his money problems if FedEx fires him. So what's Auburn gonna
Bro, at least he's trying to feed his family and trying anything possible to keep his job, I think, or to feed his family.
do? Well, one day in 1994, he comes up with a crazy solution to fix all this. He's going to hijack a
Bro, it's
FedEx
hot, man.
cargo plane from work. Then he's going to intentionally crash it into the ground with
No.
himself inside, making it look like an accident. And sure, he'll die, but it'll look like he died in a work-related plane crash, and therefore his kids will be able to collect on a $2.5 million life insurance policy that he has.
Nah, bro. I understand the money part, but bro, your kids need you in their life, and bro, and as a father, you have to be there for your kids, and you need to be in the kids' life. So I think that's a bad idea, bro, because now you killed yourself, and now they're gonna be in pain for the rest of their life because their father died. Bro, at that point, the money is not gonna matter to them because they only want their father. Bro, even you're broke, even you can be broke and still giving your kids all the love in the world, bro, it's like a billion times worth of money, bro. So yeah, I think that's a bad idea, bro. Bro, it's fucking hot, bro. Sorry. Shit.
has set up. And yeah, it's an insane plan, but he's thinking it just might work. So he shows up to work one day at FedEx ready to give this a shot. And he gets on a flight with a few other guys. And the plane takes off, and soon they're in the air, cruising along like everything is normal, and no one has any idea what he's about to do. Now, this is a cargo
Bro, he's even putting other people's life in danger, bro, for his own plan. Like, bro.
plane, hauling cargo or whatever. So it only has 3 other people on board. So there's 4 people on this plane total. And in order for Auburn to take over the cockpit and crash this thing, he needs to get rid of these other 3 people. Which means he's gonna murder them. So he leaves the
Shit,
cockpit
bro.
and he goes back to the galley
Bro, first I thought he was the own pilot, that he's gonna just crash a plane. But bro, you're really gonna murder somebody for that, bro? Like, bro, you can just get other work, bro. It's not that deep, bro. And I'm gonna stop saying bro that much. But bro, it's not that deep, bro. You literally can find other work, bro. Oh, anyways.
area, and he gets the baggage that he brought with him, which is just a guitar case. But inside this guitar case, he brought a couple of hammers and a whole ass spear gun for some reason. So he grabs just the hammers and he goes back to the cockpit where the other 3 crew members are. And these guys, they're not looking at him. They're busy chatting with each other and they're flying the plane. And that is when Auburn raises up one of those hammers and suddenly, pow! Pow! He hits the
Yeah.
flight engineer in the back of the head. Then immediately, boom! He hits one of the pilots. Then boom! He hits the other pilot. Now at this point,
Fuck.
all 3 crew members, they're wounded pretty badly. And they're a bit out of it because they just got hit so hard. But they're still alive. So Auburn's like, damn it, that didn't work. So he goes back to the galley area, back to his guitar case, and he
Oh,
gets that
shit.
spear gun out. Then he heads back to the cockpit and he points it at them and he's like, get back in your seat or I'll shoot you with this. Now remember, they're flying however many
And bro, those people are like literally, bro. Those people are literally now like all confused. Like, bro, what the fuck you are doing this, bro? It's not that deep, bro. You can literally find the other job, bro. Maybe a better one, even. Like, bro, you're gonna murder three peoples and then kill yourself for just your kids to get money. Like, God damn.
Thousands of feet in the air, and this guy is their co-worker. Like, I don't think they know him that well, but they all work for FedEx. Now imagine if you went to work one day at the strip club, or I don't know, wherever you work. Imagine if you went to work and you're doing your job or whatever, and suddenly from behind, one of your coworkers is like, bam, and hits you upside the head with a hammer. Now imagine that is going on while you're supposed to be flying a plane. That shit is scary.
Of course,
Anyway,
bro.
so he's pointing his spear gun
bro.
at them, telling them to stay seated, and this is when the flight engineer is like, fuck all this, and so bam, he lunges at Auburn, and he grabs the spear gun, and he's trying to wrestle it away from him, but he can't quite get it. Then, boom, one of the pilots jumps in, and now they're both fighting him, trying to pull this weapon from his hands, and this fight spills out into the galley area. And so the pilot flying, he's still trying to keep the plane in the air while the others fight. And he turns the whole thing back toward the airport that they took off from. And he can hear the other guys fighting behind him in the galley area, but he can't see what's going on, not from where he's sitting. And he feels like he's got to do something to help. And this is where things get really crazy. Because
no, bro, just stay there and fly the plane, because I know you have autopilot, but bro, and
the pilot, he starts thinking, if I do a barrel roll and flip the plane upside down, this will flip everyone upside down, and Auburn will get tossed around, and this will knock the weapons out of his hands. And so...
But bro, can you do that with an airplane, bro? Oh yeah, maybe the airplane's not that big, but I never see a airplane flip upside down, bro.
Bam, he rolls this big-ass airplane, flipping it almost completely upside down, and he holds it there. And the three guys in the back, they all fall from the floor to the ceiling. And they're still fighting, except they're now fighting on the ceiling. However, this maneuver didn't disarm Auburn at all, because he's still got that spear gun. And so the other guys, they're still back there trying to pull it away from him, but apparently Auburn is a trained martial arts expert, while these other guys are wounded from being hit in the head with a hammer. So even though it's 2-on-1, he's still kind of kicking their ass. Here's the other thing though. These cargo planes aren't designed to do like loop-de-loops and fancy maneuvers and whatnot. They're designed to haul cargo. So this plane suddenly goes into a nosedive, and it's heading straight down, right toward the ground at top speed. In fact, the speedometer is topping out at 540 miles an hour. And so the three guys in the back, they're all getting tossed around, but somehow they're still wrestling, fighting, and beating each other up. And I'm sure the pilot and the flight engineer are scared out of their minds, because Auburn is just not giving up. Remember, he had already planned on dying today, so he doesn't care if he gets hurt. He doesn't.
Bro, of course not, bro. And all the workers there is like, bro, for what reason are you doing this? Like, it's crazy, bro. This is a crazy story, bro.
Doesn't care if the plane crashes. In fact, he wants it to crash. He's probably happy the plane is in a nosedive, because at the end of the day, he'll do whatever he can to die at work so that he can get his kids that life insurance money.
It's not worth it, bro.
And at this point, Auburn grabs one of his hammers, and boom, he hits one of the pilots in the head with it again. And so it looks like he's about to win this fight. Until...
Ding, ding.
Here's the thing about the pilot who's up front flying the plane. He's actually very good. He's a very experienced Navy pilot. So he uses his skills and he slowly stabilizes the plane. And for the first time, this pilot finally has time to radio in the emergency.
Express 705. I've been wounded. We've had an attempted takeover on board the airplane. Give me a vector, please. Back to Memphis at this time. Hurry.
He also starts to roll the plane left and right to keep tossing Auburn around. And as he's being tossed around, Auburn starts to lose the fight. One of the pilots is able to wrestle the hammer from him, and boom, he hits him with it, and boom, he hits him with it again.
Yeah.
But Auburn
now it's get back time.
Auburn is still gripping that spear gun, like he's about to shoot it. And suddenly, pow, the pilot hits him over the head as hard as he can. And this is enough for them to gain control of the fight and sort of pin him down. And they call out to the pilot flying the plane like, hey, turn on the autopilot and come help us. But because he's been flying so crazy, like doing barrel rolls and nosedives and whatnot, I guess the plane is now unstable and the autopilot won't turn on. Regardless, he decides to just leave the cockpit anyway and come to the galley and help hold Auburn down,
Boy,
while
he's
the
a
other
brave man.
pilot goes up front to fly the plane. And eventually, that pilot is able to land the plane safely as they continue to hold Auburn's crazy ass down until police can get there. And so, bam, police arrest him. And I don't have a mugshot, but here's a picture of him way back when he was in the military. And ultimately, Auburn gets sentenced.
Bro, shout out to them pilots, bro. They really saved their life, their own life, and saved this man's life, even though he did crazy things. But bro, it's not worth it for all that, bro. You wanted to murder 3 peoples and kill yourself for just the money. Bro, the other peoples maybe have family that they are working to feed to, and yet and you decide that you want to take the life and your own life for that money. Bro, you can literally find a other job. Let's see what he gets sentenced to
life in prison for this.
Of course, bro.
But
of course.
Absolute craziest part of all this is that afterwards, a FedEx rep came out and said that it is unlikely that FedEx would have fired him for lying to them on his resume. So he did all of that, and he probably wasn't even gonna get fired. My God.
Bro, this man went through all of this for nothing. Bro, I understand him that he can get mad that he want to keep his job, bro. But it's not that deep to go to plan all this for just to stay with that money. And now he's in jail thinking, bro, I should have just waited to see what happened or just find a new job. And now you sit in the prison for life, and your kids, you cannot even feed your kids because you're having life in prison. And now who's gonna feed your kids, bro? Damn. So yes, guys, this was an interesting story. What is your thoughts on that? Let me know in the comments. And so yes, this was the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and see you guys on the next reaction. I'm gone.